what's up? It's Lori Rady from Rady's Rides, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Joe's actually behind the camera this time, and I'm standing here in front of this 2016 Subaru BRZ Limited, and you may be wondering why. So let me take you back just a little bit, because many of you know I used to own a Ford Focus ST, and a lot of you have been wondering, well, what happened to the ST? Well, I loved that car. It was a blast to drive, but frankly, the pesky Recaros got to me long term, and my daily commute, it just wasn't working. So I traded that car in for a daily commuter, my Mazda 3, which is great for daily commuting, and that's kind of where it stops for me. That fun factor is a little bit lacking, so I started searching in 2019 for a weekend car, something I can take to autocross or the racetrack and just have some fun rowing through my own gears on Saturdays and Sundays. And some of you also know that Joe gets a lot of press fleet vehicles. Well, in 2019, I got an opportunity to get behind the wheel of a Toyota 86. And frankly, it was like a moth to a flame. There was something about that car, just the grittiness of it and the feeling and the connectivity between rowing through your own gears and those four wheels on the ground. I thought, this is it. And so the search began. Many of you know who have an 86, a BRZ, or an FRS, these cars are hard to find to begin with. And second of all, finding a pre-owned vehicle that's not used and abused is really challenging. So I had to pull out all the patience, take some time, and do a lot of investigation and research to find one, and lo and behold, I did. So I'm standing here in front of my 2016 Subaru BRZ Limited that not only did I get from the original owner, but I got it with only 20,000 miles, and I got it for a really good price. So if you're ready, I'm gonna put Joe in the passenger seat this time. I'm gonna be behind the wheel, and we're gonna take this for a spin. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, here we are in my 2016 Subaru BRZ, and I'm sure you might know this guy sitting next to me.
Hey guys, what's up?
It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides.
That's right. Who would have known? I was just walking down the sidewalk here.
On this random road.
On this random road in the middle of nowhere, and you were like, hey, Joe, you want to go from Rady's Rides? You want to go for a ride with me? And I'm like, sure, why not?
Right.
Beautiful woman.
Absolutely.
Picking me up.
Well, you know, I want to get your perspective on this car too, because you played a big part in helping me make this decision.
I mean, I remember when we got that press fleet vehicle. I don't know if you told him about the press fleet vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This other guy was filming.
Yeah.
He looked just like you.
That's right. This press fleet vehicle, the Toyota 86, and we both fell in love with it.
Yeah, it just handled so well. It just, more than anything, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Because, you know, when you're doing a daily commute, like many of us do, it's so nice to get behind a wheel of a car where you feel inspired and you're just having fun again.
Well, I'm ready to have some fun. I'm sure they are. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, let's go.
Well, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So we're on a nice little road in our neck of the woods, a little bit of twist. This is what the BRZ is all about. When we were looking at the BRZ, you wanted something that was engaging, right? I
did, and I wanted to go into some twisty bits, because that's the thing about a car. You know, the way it handles on the turns
That's right.
is important.
Yeah,
because,
definitely.
You know, and the thing about the BRZ, a lot of people give it a bad rap because there's not a lot of horsepower.
Exactly.
It's 200 horsepower for the 2016, and
a flat four.
2-liter engine, little engine, great gas mileage, by the way, which is a nice perk. I think it's 34 on the highway.
Yeah, it's like 24 in the city.
It's really good. But the way it handles, and that was the thing about, so the difference between the 86 and the BRZ, right? Now, basically the same car, right?
Sure.
But the BRZ is a little bit more balanced, and I like that because, you know, it's the rear-wheel drive.
And you can feel it as you're going right to left here. You can really feel it.
Oh, yeah. Get on it a little bit here.
And that was the thing. We looked at some other cars, like we looked at the Honda Civic SI, and you liked it.
I do.
The only thing was that it was front-wheel drive, and there's really just a certain personality that you get from a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah, I mean, this particular car makes me feel like a kid again. It's very, very raw. I mean, one of the other things I love about it is there's nothing on the steering wheel.
Yeah, what's great about the 2016, so if you guys buy the first generation of the BRZ or the FRS, there's no buttons on the steering wheel. And
I like the thickness of the steering wheel. I like the materials that they use.
Definitely.
That was the other thing I was looking for, guys, because, you know, this car, again, I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. These cars are hard to find. And
a lot of them were premium trim, which is that base trim.
And I didn't want that.
We wanted a limited, which is what this one is.
And that's another reason why you might go with a BRZ over an FRS if you're looking for a pre-owned, is because of the limited trim. The interior is a little nicer in the BRZ, and I love the leather on the steering wheel. Really nice.
Definitely the seats. I enjoy the seats more in the BRZ than in the FRS. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's got the Alcantara with the leather, which again is the limited trim.
Really, really wonderful.
Yeah, it's nice. And the other thing about the limited trim that I like in the BRZ is these gauges, where the dual climate control and these little switches to control it feel like a race car.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it just screams race car in the red.
And that was something you really wanted. You wanted to have that fun, racy feel. And I know that we're going to be doing some track days and whatnot very soon, so that's really good as well.
Well, you know, a lot of folks like myself want to know how to get better at driving, and that's one of the things that you can do to get better at driving is go to some autocross events.
You're so very true. And as you can see on this road, it's got some nice twisties to it and whatnot. So definitely fun to drive on. And I know in March we're going to be doing an autocross event and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, there's quite a few autocross events here in Florida that happen in the sort of January, February, March months. And so that's something that I'm really looking forward to, because I've done some racing at
Ford Performance Racing School. You did awesome.
Which that's where, frankly, I was bitten by the bug. Yeah. And what was cool for me as a female driver is I met a lot of other female drivers, and some that have been autocrossing for years that are much older than me, and it was really inspiring to meet some folks like that.
Oh, definitely. That's
because you just don't see a lot of that, and so it was nice to see.
So you like how with this BRZ, it almost feels like a go-kart.
Oh God, it totally feels like a go-kart.
Yeah.
It handles so well, feels like a go-kart, feels like a little suction cup. Like I'm just hugging the ground.
No body roll whatsoever.
None.
Just nice and flat, and just really handles, I think, ultra well.
Oh,
and you're doing a wonderful job here on this this little twisty bit of a road.
I have to give a shout out to you for driving and talking is a little bit of a challenge.
Isn't it challenging?
Because I'm not good at multitasking at all. And so I'm like, okay, I can drive or I can talk. But to do both is definitely hard.
Well, this is what's fun, and I think it's fun for everybody who's part of the Radies Rides family, is to see you more in front of the camera, and that's what we're transitioning now that it's 2020.
Yeah.
You know, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think you're going to get more comfortable, and there'll be more opportunities for you to get in front of the camera, behind the wheel.
Well, and that's something that I know folks want to see, especially our female viewers.
Yeah, we're getting more and more the percentage of ladies. I mean, it's over 10% now, which when I started the channel, it was less than 1%.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see a lot of women coming on board, because guess what? It's great to share it across the whole gambit of ages and people and everything else. And plus, I know personally, being a car guy, it's awesome to have a woman in my life that knows how to drive manual and enjoys cars.
Well, it's kind of a win-win for the whole family, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
If everybody's big car fans.
A family that cars together stays together. That's what I have always believed.
Well, and I think, you know, for me, you know, coming from somebody who's always known a little bit about cars. My dad is a big car guy, you know, but I've never really been into it that much. And now that I'm getting more and more into the way a car feels, gosh, it's just a lot more fun to experience. And I think that's what a lot of people miss these days.
Get on it a little bit. I know it's only got 200 horsepower, but lots of fun. Here we go. It's just fun, isn't it? Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
So how about let's make a right on this road?
Okay.
Coming up here where everybody's kind of turning.
You know, I love, so a lot of people zonk this car because of the lower horsepower. But you know what was fun about that? Is that I got to floor it. And
pedal to the metal. Yes.
And not worry about red lights and blue lights going off behind me. You know, and so I just think there's something to be said for that. You know, especially for somebody who is just looking to let go on the weekends. You want to put pedal to the metal and have a blast driving something. This is the kind of car where you can do that with really very little worry.
When I remember you telling me what you really like is that it helps you build confidence, because one thing that's your favorite about sitting behind the wheel is you can see the fenders.
Oh yeah, I love the body lines on the front of this car. Being able to see the fenders is an excellent vantage point so that you can keep yourself between the lines.
Yeah,
which
and
I'm
hit
not
your
doing
mark.
a great job of right now.
It's all right, because remember, this is all new.
Driving and talking is very, very challenging. Kudos to Joe for all that he does every day.
That's right. Well, thank you, sweetheart.
Yes.
You're very sweet. But if you're wondering, well, what were some other cars Lori was thinking about? Like we said, the Honda Civic Si.
Yep.
We were looking at a GTI, Volkswagen Golf GTI.
You know, and some folks might say, well, I prefer the GTI and the Honda Civic Si because they have more tech. Now,
Sure.
if you're looking
They
for
do.
tech, a 2016 BRZ is not the way to go at all. There's no Apple CarPlay.
No Apple
there's
Android Auto.
There's actually a CD player in here.
Yeah.
I was telling Joe, I can't wait to listen to my Bon Jovi CDs and my sister Christian.
That's right,
Just
yeah.
Blast that, some of that
Just
90s
blast while you're
music.
rolling through the gears. That's
right,
the
80s
best
music.
part about this car is you're rolling through the gears.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in the sound, I like the sound. It is a little bit more raw and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna feel some of the bumps, and you're gonna hear the exhaust.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna hear some of those noises.
And the
I
growl
like
of that engine. Yeah, that
That's-
intake growl of that engine, yeah.
Well, that's the whole point. Then the pleasure of the drive, especially of a car like this, is I didn't want it to be
Sure,
too soft and too cushy and too comfortable. But I do have to say, I like the seats.
Yeah.
You know, there's just enough bolstering,
Definitely.
but not enough that it's going to squeeze me or make me feel uncomfortable.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know they're probably wanting to know, since you are, you know, a Rady, and this is Rady's Rides.
That's true.
What are you zonking?
Well,
you gotta have to zonk this. This isn't a perfect car.
All right.
All right.
Even though I said I like the fact that it's a little smaller engine, lower horsepower, I am kind of zonking the fact that, you know, just 25.
30 more. Yeah, we're
30
not
more
asking for
horsepower?
200 horsepower. Just another 30 to 50 horsepower, I think, would be
Yeah, 230 to 250 would be great.
perfect.
Would be perfect for this car. You know, just enough punch. I also might zonk the armrest.
No
controller
armrests.
thing.
No armrests.
I haven't missed it terribly.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've actually been resting my arm when you've let me drive the BRZ. You let me.
Yeah, you can rest
I
your
rest your
arm
arm on the e-brake handle.
But it just would be
I
nice
know,
if this
so that definitely
was
is a zonk.
Because, you know, you got the hard plastic.
Yeah,
which
for
would be
sure.
a little nicer if it was covered with a soft leather.
But I'm telling you guys, she did it so well with purchasing this particular one, like she mentioned earlier, with it being a one owner, all original, non-modified, and we have extended warranty. Yeah,
Yes.
we literally looked for a few months.
Yeah, I almost gave up the search.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this isn't gonna happen.
Yeah. But it was really important to me to find this particular car because I wanted that feeling of being in a race car on the weekends. And I feel like for the money and the bang for your buck, I don't know if there's a car other than a Miata that compares. And and so you might be wondering, well, Lori, did you consider the Miata? Yes, I did.
We did. She knew how much I love the Miata.
Multiple times.
Yes.
And it was just too uncomfortable for me. Just
well, even on the
hair too
passenger
small.
side, like if I was driving it, that's the one thing about the BRZ is the passenger, especially if you're taller like we are, you have plenty of leg room over here.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Miata, you are cramped. I'll tell you that.
And the trunk in the BRZ, it's a great space.
Usable. It's totally usable car. I've gone to Costco with it. So it's like if you could go to Costco with a BRZ, you definitely, that says something about the room in the trunk and whatnot.
Yeah, I think this car was designed very well. I love the Coke bottle shape.
Yeah,
it's just so sleek
it's a timeless,
and
it's a timeless design.
Yeah,
it really
and
is.
And it catches people's eye because you don't see them everywhere all the time.
Tell me about the transmission. Do you like the way it feels when you're rolling through the gears?
You know, it's super mechanical. I love the way it just clicks right into place. I mean, it's very slick shifting. It feels so powerful too, which is fascinating because it's not. I mean, but it is a very light car. What is it? It's like a little over 2,000.
Well, it's like 2,600 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's not a very it's not a heavy car. And that's the thing is like even like the brakes. When you get on the brakes there, one thing I've noticed, and we're gonna go right through this roundabout, is it doesn't have the world's biggest brakes, but they brake well. It doesn't have the world's biggest engine, but it runs well. So it's kind of like that nice in between. And for your purpose, being a weekend fun driving car and wanting to take it through some twisty bits and whatnot, this is the perfect car.
Which that was really fun.
Yeah, I know. You really feel how tight the steering wheel is.
Fun in a roundabout.
Yeah.
If we were up there in that Pacifica or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that Buick.
In that Buick, it would be really boring to drive around a roundabout. But when you're in a car like this, going around a roundabout is fun.
And it's balanced. And the car is so balanced. That's the real joy about driving this car. I love driving it. There's many times when I'm like, Lori, can I have the key fob? I want to take this thing for a spin because
every time we get in this car, we thoroughly enjoy the sounds. We enjoy the feel of it. It's just pure driving. And I think, again, the other thing that I like about it, which felt good on my pocketbook, was the price.
The price, yeah. We got it for such a great price. And you just got to do your homework. You got to look. They're out there. You could find them. My advice is, if you're buying pre-owned and you don't know anything about cars, or maybe if you do know something about cars, have a trained mechanic inspect it.
Absolutely.
Because that's the thing. One of the things we liked about this car not having a turbo is that was just one less thing to break.
Right.
And you know, we had the car looked over. I looked over the car from stem to stern, and we got lucky. But you want to it's cheap insurance. Pay $150, have the car inspected, and that would be really, really good to go.
You know, and the other thing, you know, if you are new to buying a pre-owned vehicle, I think it's important to consider having a car that's a little bit simpler when it comes to technology. You know, not having the extra tech, not having a supercharger or a turbo is actually beneficial.
Definitely.
On the pre-owned side of things, because there's less stuff to break.
We are going to make a right at the next street where that truck pulled out up there.
Perfect. You know, you did ask me about zonk. So, you know, it's my car, and I found some things to zonk.
Of course.
The other thing that I will zonk on this particular year is that there's not a gear gauge.
Yeah, not a gear indicator. That I know is something you were wishing.
And I know they have it on the 2017.
Sure.
And folks might say, well, why didn't you get the 2017?
Yeah.
And that's because this, to me, was cream puff.
Yeah.
You know, finding this one for the price, you know, the fact that it was one owner and had the extended warranty on it,
no, you're right.
I just felt like this is not something you're going to find every day. Plus, we've been looking for so long.
You're right. Enjoy those twisties.
Yes. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, I'll yap a little bit while Lori's talking, but it's just great to be able to share the fun of cars with her, and she really, really digs this BRZ. She actually gave it a nickname, Snowflake, so this is
beautiful crystal white pearl.
Crystal white pearl paint job, and she's so light and fun to drive that Snowflake just kind of fit it perfect. But as you can see, Lori's doing such a great job going through these twisties. I was so proud of her at the Ford Performance Racing School, and it was nice for her to see what it was like to be on a track, because I've always, you know, she's always asked me about when I used to race cars and all that, but now that she's been there, she gets it. I mean, look how she's taking this wonderful right-left transition, and the car is so balanced. She hit the nail on the head that with the Subaru, the chassis is more balanced than the Toyota 86 or the Scion FRS, so something to think about. But overall, I love the car, and I think that it's a great weekend toy for you, for sure.
Well, thank you. You know, it was important to me to get Rady's Rides approval.
Yes.
So do I get one of those Rady's Rides approved
Yes, you are getting, Lori made these awesome Rady's Rides approved stickers. You are definitely getting a Rady's Rides approved sticker, for sure. But are you ready to get back to our undisclosed location and wrap this up?
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this one up. We'll see you here in a split second.
All right, back to the undisclosed location. See you guys.
Bye. All right, guys, so if you're looking for a car that's super engaging to drive, that handles the twisties like a dream, a Subaru BRZ may indeed be in your future, but the best way is just to get behind the wheel and check it out for yourself. So if these are the kinds of things you like to see on Rady's Rides with me in front of the camera a little bit more frequently, or us talking about engaging cars like the BRZ that are pre-owned, please let us know. Leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button when you're on your way out. We promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help grow the channel, certainly get some merch. Just click the link in the description that's right below the video. That takes you out to Spreadshirt with logos designed by yours truly. And you know, I got to give a huge shout out to my amazing husband, Joe Rady, who's behind the camera right now, working the camera like a champ, getting all those angles. Thank you so much, honey, for your production, your direction, and all of your videography skills today. Great job. And just like always, guys, we'll see you on the next ride.